Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome back to You're Not Broken, You're Becoming, the podcast where we get real, raw, and rooted in healing. I am your host, Michaela, and today's episode is for the part of you still carrying what hurt you. Today's truth, I want you to lean in and I want you to get close because we're talking about forgiveness. Specifically, do you have to forgive to heal? Let's take a deep breath together. Exhale. Let's sit with this. Let's tell the truth because somebody out there needs this just as much as I needed it when I first asked myself the same question. Forgiveness is one of the most misused, misunderstood concepts in healing. We think it means letting someone off the hook. We think it means allowing them back in. We think it means pretending it never happened. But that's not forgiveness, that's denial. And denial is not for healing. Forgiveness, real forgiveness, is saying, I refuse to carry this pain any longer. Not because they deserve peace, but because you do. You can forgive and still set boundaries. You can forgive and still block them. You can forgive without ever seeing them again. Forgiveness is not a welcome sign for their return. It's a release for your rebirth. I used to think holding on to anger gave me power, that my silence, my distance, my rage was how I protected myself. But I didn't realize I was replaying the moments they hurt me every single day. They had already walked away, but I was still sitting in the room, still bleeding, still screaming in silence. Unforgiveness makes you believe you're in control, but really, you're imprisoned by pain. You're not in power, you're in pause. You're frozen in the moment that already happened. Forgiveness is not a light switch, it's not a one and done decision. It's a process, and you're allowed to be in process. You might forgive the surface layer, then weeks or months later realize there's still bitterness underneath. That's okay. That's part of it. Healing comes in waves. So does forgiveness. You can feel peace today and ache tomorrow. That doesn't mean you're not healing. It means you're human. Let me ask you something. What are you still carrying that's been carrying you? That memory, that betrayal, that silence, that absence? You've held it so long you forgot what it felt like it before it. But you don't have to hold it forever. It's okay to set it down. It's okay to say, you don't get to live rent free in my heart anymore. You get to take your power back. You get to choose peace. One of the hardest things for me, forgiving someone who never said sorry, who doesn't think they did anything wrong, who moved on like you didn't lose a piece of yourself. That's a heartbreak people rarely talk about. But I'm going to say something bold. You don't need their apology to be free. Your healing doesn't require their awareness. Your peace doesn't need their participation. You can choose to let go even when they don't deserve it because you do. You deserve to stop being defined by what they never acknowledged. Forgiveness is also about removing yourself from cycles. You can't keep going back to what broke you and expect to be whole. Forgiveness means you stop bleeding in places that never cared you were hurt. You don't have to stay connected to their energy just because you shared history. Sometimes the most powerful healing is distance. Sometimes the most powerful act of forgiveness is choosing yourself loudly and without guilt. I know you're waiting for them to show up, to admit what they did, to finally speak the words you need to hear. But what if I told you they're not coming? They are not coming. And still you can heal. Closure isn't something they give you, it's something you give yourself. You get to say, I forgive you, not because you're sorry, but because I'm done letting you hold this piece of me. I reclaim myself. I restore my own soul. Forgiveness might look like peace, or it might look like walking away. It might be soft, quiet, private, or it might be loud, tearful, messy. There's no one way to forgiveness. You don't owe anyone a performance. You just owe yourself the freedom to feel again, to love again, to breathe again without the bitterness buried in your chest. You owe your peace. And if you're not ready yet, that's okay too. Forgiveness isn't the beginning of healing for everyone. Sometimes it's the middle, sometimes it's the end. But know this, holding on to what they did to you will never unbreak what happened. It only continues to break you. Even if forgiveness isn't today, ask yourself, what would it feel like to want peace more than revenge? Not today, but one day. That day matters. That day changes everything. I don't know what you've been through, but I do know this. Your soul deserves rest. You don't have to keep rehearsing the pain. You don't have to keep guarding your heart with the rage. You can lay it down. You can say, I'm done, letting this pain parent my future. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay. It means you're finally okay, even if they never are. You're not broken. You're becoming, and part of becoming is letting go. Until next time, beautiful soul, take care of your heart, honor your healing, and remember, even in the most painful places, you are still becoming. You don't have to forgive today, but when you're ready, let it be the beginning of your freedom.